Hello trainers, it's tea time again, so pour a cup and grab a biscuit. Actually, grab a Pokepuff because today's topic is setting colors. Did anyone else really badly want to eat those Pokepuffs when Gen 6 was around? I mean, I still want to eat them, they look delicious. Anyway, you may remember the last time when I maliciously spread my made-up rumors about Gen 10. Officer Jenny is still after me, but she hasn't caught me yet. So that was fun. But afterwards, I realized how foolish I was to spread rumors about a far distant new generation, when we do in fact have another new Pokemon game lined up for us. Probably in a few days we'll know more on Pokemon Day, so this is possibly like my last minute chance to spread rumors about Legend CA. How am I supposed to be revered as the master leaker unless I leak the details of the most relevant game? I have no choice. Now I naturally gotta make up even more baseless rumors and make predictions, I guess. And no, it's not prediction, it's actually literal facts. Everything I say is definitely a fact. I mean, at this point, we don't know much about the game at all, basically nothing. So, thankfully, nobody can fact check anything I say until they drop more news, which is like in a day or something, but whatever. And as previously established, I am at least 66% psychic, which means at least 66% will be true. That is a fact. Do not fact check this. Just trust me, bro. Have another Pokepuff. So I guess like last time, we'll start with the region itself. And well, we know its colors this time. More specifically, it's just Lumio City, which is a great city. So people are wondering, is it the far distant Kalos, like how Hisui is distant from Sinnoh? And the answer is no, that's not even a prediction. Like, we can just literally see modern humans in the trailers. I mean, what ancient girl wears like a baseball cap and sneakers? I don't know, why is that even a question? But Lynn, what about time travel, like in Legends Arceus? Nah, sorry, that will not happen in Kalos. The Sinnoh legendaries are all about time and space that allows for such a setting, so I don't know. The Kalos legendaries, on the other hand, they are like about life and death, I guess. So I guess we'll be seeing zombies this time. Maybe all those Pokemon have died because of Ace's ultimate weapon, you know, when he like brought Floet back, that whole thing. Like, maybe they finally come back to life, but they're like a zombie state. They're in a zombie state. They're attacking the city and you have to defeat them. Similarly to Alphas in Hisui. So Alphas will not be coming back, zombies are the new Alphas. But will we see more of the rest of Kalos? No, but also yes. You'll technically still be in the city, but there will also be some kind of unexpected area you can travel to, probably. Maybe underground, that's like the most popular theory, I guess. People are seemingly desperate to crawl around in the catacombs and sewers for some reason. Who am I to deny them this? I'm gonna confirm this as the #1 rumor spreader. I will allow it. I will say it's true. You can crawl around down there as much as you like. But I can't just bring you old rumors, so I'm gonna predict there will also be a floating area in the sky above Lumio City. Likely going to be tied to like an evil team or some mythical legendary Pokemon shenanigans. Maybe both. If it's the evil team, it would probably be like a giant airship instead. And if it's a legendary, it's probably like a floating fantasy island with ruins. And it turns out, all along the Tower of Mastery was just trying to reach that island. How poetic. So in the city itself, Lumio City, it will be split into sections, each section having a cultural influence from another region. So like, it's not completely that region or different, it's still going to be like French, European colors at the core. But there's going to be a section that's more like inspired by the Japanese regions, which they're going to call Kanto. They always do, poor Johto. So they'll have like ramen and sushi restaurants, maybe some shrines, and then they'll have a section that's more tropical, with ties to Alola, and a section tied to the Paldean region, in which all the NPCs look ugly as heck and you can't enter any of the houses. You know, regional things. Oh, and they've also developed the same kind of technology as Blueberry Academy, from the DLC to Paldea, so they actually have like different climates. So this way you can have a nice autumn city in one section and like a lush summer in the next. It doesn't really make sense, and a few poor citizens, they will have to live in like a winter wonderland all year around, and nobody questions it, except for like one NPC who is like, why did we move to this part of town? It's always cold. And his name is Bert, because Burr, he's cold. You get it? Okay, moving on. Okay, let's get to the more interesting part, starter Pokemon. What ungodly regional mix of starter Pokemon will we receive this time? It's going to be Chespin, Mannequin, and Froakie. Yeah, it's the same old boring Kalos trio, but this time the final evolutions do get mega forms. Oh, and the final evolution also do have like new forms like the Hisuian starters did. It's like a weird new modern discovery that used to explain why the original forms didn't have mega forms. So they get both, because why not? Yeah, basically the Pokemon just develop more urban traits from living in cities instead of in the wild. Design-wise, they're all kinda lame. Chestnut is now a ground type goalie of some kind of sport. I don't know which one because I don't like sports. It has a signature attack move that shoots out seed that looks like whatever, sports ball or something. Football, tennis, all the other sports, I don't know. And Delpho's long fur now looks like a more modern feminine gown instead of like, I don't know, old-time witchy. Kind of like a lowland Persian. It's been spoiled and it's now like a rich socialite looking dark type. It looks like it would trash talk you behind your back with a Gothitelle. That's what it looks like. Its new signature attack involves eerily laughing at the opponent before striking them, and then like the attack also ignores defense buffs. So it just laughs in your face, and then it goes for your mental weak spot. I have on occasion been forced to watch rich women fight on TV, and that's how they fight. Greninja, who used to be a cool ninja, is now instead a lame street fashion inspired hip hopper. Because it's a frog, and they hop. And it's also now poison type. And the poison type is just there because the new color palette is inspired by like poison dart frogs. It has a signature attack that is some kind of like beatboxing croak. And they're going to push it really hard in merch, as if it was a cool Pokemon, but it's actually super lame and nobody likes it. And everyone just wants regular Greninja back. Some people will actually claim that they love these new really lame forms, but then if you check their profile, they have very questionable taste in Pokemon. Like you go to their, I don't know, Twitter or X profile and their waifu is like a Bruxish. That kind of person will still like them. And we cannot be friends. But of course, like I said, all the starters have mega forms, which do not make them cooler. They're kind of the same but bigger and more over-designed. Charizard is also in the game. It gets a new mega C form. Venusaur and Blastoise, they get nothing. I mean, they still have the old megas though. Like, they can still use those. And the Hoenn trio isn't in the game until a much later update. Can you tell just how little faith I have in Game Freak designing anything good for starters anymore? After Paldea, those looked so bad, I hated them. They allowed a big butt bird to twerk in our faces. I do not trust them anymore. They've gone off the rails. I don't trust them with starters. But what about other Pokemon? Well, since the starters have forms, you've already figured out there will be regional forms. They're not called Kalosian forms, but instead just Lumiose forms or whatever. The theme is, like, for the starters, the vaguely urban. And a few of them include the Pidove line. They have turned dark type. They're aggressive city birds now. They fear nothing. They will steal your fries. And Cherubi is a rock type. So it's more ruby than cherry now. Cherrium too. They're actually bred to be this way by like a jewelry company. So they cannot be found in the wild. You can actually only get this form at the jewelry store by paying like an unreasonable amount of money. Like, so way too much money. Post-game grinding for literal days kind of money. That much money is how much you have to spend just to finish the decks to get this one form of Cherrim and Cherubi. In the Vanillite line, they have a new flavor. They spent so much time in the city, they actually turned into ice cream, so they're part fairy type now, I guess. So they come in different flavors, which is really just different colors, to be honest. Oh, and they also have a new signature attack. It's called Brain Freeze, which has the flavor incorporated in the attack animation. So, like, Jello banana flavor will have bananas in there and so on. And then we have Pokemon like Baltoy, which does not have a new form, but a new evolution. It's called Ballet Toy, like based on a ballerina figurine on top of a music box, because they spin around. You know, very cool, right? Cast form has a new poison type evolution to reflect the polluted city air. Fido evolved into a baguette now. It's just long. That makes sense. Then we have human characters. They will mostly be new, with like an occasional old character popping in. Clement, who was the Lumia City gym leader in XY, doesn't show up. He's only mentioned in passing as a former gym leader. I guess that means this is set in the future now. I guess this is so that they can set the game after XY while not committing to an exact time frame by having him significantly older. So they was like, yeah, Clement, yeah, he used to be the gym leader. Maybe 1 year ago, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, who knows? We'll never know. Okay, there's going to be a new female character that is super smug and annoying, and you'll quickly realize she's in fact Melly's descendant. She's a bit of a rival to you as the player. If she ever met Clara from Galar, they'd have a full-on fistfight to death, probably. And Alexa will return. She still works at the Lumios Press. She is reporting on the zombie Pokemon that pops up, so she'll be somewhat plot relevant, I guess. She was already an adult in XY, so she gets the usual anime treatment. She could be 18 or she could be 50. It's all anime. They look exactly the same, we'll never know. Oh, but what about Team Flare? I did mention an evil team possibly living in an airship or whatever. Well, it's unclear if Lysander survived in XY, so I'm gonna say he didn't. But that, like, Neo Flare, they want to resurrect him in the same way the Pokemon, the zombie Pokemon, they have been resurrected. Oh, it's all coming full circle now. Oh, so perhaps Neo Flare experimenting on resurrecting Pokemon is why they're all coming back as zombies in the first place. It's all their fault. And then because humans are toying with life and death, the big legendaries, Cernius and Ilveltal, they get mad. So we can tie those two into the plot as well. And to stop them, you need a big green snake Pokemon, Zygarde, to make them stop fighting. Oh, and AC the Giant, he's only in the game for like half a second at the end. You know, like Kogita in Legends Arceus? That's like the role he'll play, he'll just be some kind of post-game content kinda. Okay, that's enough rumor spreading for now. Like, comment, and subscribe for more 100% made-up rumors that definitely true about Pokemon. And unless Officer Jenny gets me before then, I'll see you next time, trainers. Bye!